88.1 The Berg, your music central. You are in for another great week here in the Backyard Burn. As always, you've got your boy, Mr. Shane Dog Peterson, here with you. And as always, you know him. You love him. We have Mr. Noah Annette. Noah, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been a long and eventful weekend, but we're hanging in there. Mother's Day just happened, but there's been a lot of other eventful things that have happened that we sure need to talk about, especially all the pranks that have been going on.
Oh, dude. Well, you were talking earlier. Your mom got you. Did she get you on Mother's Day?
No, she got me the day after, but I think she likes that day better than Mother's Day. Based off her prank, she got me yesterday.
Yeah, what did she do?
So she knew that I think she was gonna start getting some of the stuff out for dinner to help make dinner. She was in a really productive mood yesterday and all sorts of stuff around the house. And so I'm thinking, okay, it's 4:30. I'm going to go down, or 4:30, 4:45, start going making dinner, try to get it done around 5:30. And the first thing I need is, so we're making shake and bake chicken with mashed potatoes and some other stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So the shake and bake's in the pantry. And so I heard her rustle around when I was going down the stairs. But I'm like, oh, she's just going back to her chair in the living room. She must have grabbed something from the pantry, maybe some candy or something. Mm-hmm. And so I see the light on, and I'm like, okay. But to me, I'm thinking, there's no way she could be in there. The light she leaves on every now and again. And so I go open the pantry, and she jumps out at me and just scares me. And I'm just screaming and freaking out. And so then she tells my dad about it, and he was like, was he mad? And my mom's like, no, it wasn't mad. He was just freaked out and just kind of laughing about it because he didn't know how to react. He didn't expect his mom to be sitting in the pantry and jump out at him.
The thing is, when people jump out at me, I'm a very nervous, twitchy person. I always jump and twitch. When people do, the jab at you, I'm always the person that, even if I'm 10 feet away, I'm going to go, huh. I'm just a jumpy person. But I got pranked pretty bad yesterday, and I have to share about it. Basically, I was in a mood yesterday. I was not having the best day yesterday. I was kind of woke up on the wrong side of the bed. And we get a lovely message. I know you got the same message from our lovely engineer, Elliot. And the title of the video is, I'm just going to pull it up right here. The truth the government doesn't want you to know about sheltering in place. Now, I've been looking up all these conspiracy videos, and let me tell you, they get me all hot and heated. So I didn't look at it, and I was just like, you know what? Screw it. I don't like it. Not going to talk about it. I use some other colorful language that I can't use on the radio, but I just said, you know what? I'm not even going to read it. And then late last night, I'm sitting in my bed. I'm kind of, winding down the day. I'm it's probably about 10:30. I'm sitting there and I'm laying there. Everything's all nice and calm. I'm going through my phone and I go to the video and I'm like, okay, what's this all about? Click on the video and guess what I hear? Wait for it. I got rickrolled yesterday, and that is very embarrassing. But I mean, also, it's a little jammer, isn't it?
I don't really get mad at the song because I still listen to that song. I have no problems with that song at all.
Yeah, I could see you just getting ready in the morning, just putting your deodorant on, brushing your teeth. Never gonna give you, never gonna let you go. Got a mouth.
It's one of my wake up songs, but maybe I can get the old alarm clock that plays music back out again and just play that as my morning song.
Yeah, I mean, you should make that your alarm on your phone. I always use really obnoxious songs as the alarms on my phone because it tells me what time that what urgency that I need to do. Because I'll start off with a slower rock song, and then with the alarm where it's okay, Shane, you need to get up. You put on some Norwegian black metal where it's really scary, and then you're just yeah, you just all screaming, scary, dark, weird stuff that if you're sleeping and you're having a nice slumber, you're gonna be awoken and be like, what is that? And then you're gonna be like, oh wait. that means I have like 5 minutes to take a shower.
That my music for that would be like something that I just couldn't stand. There's some singers that I don't really know why I don't like them, and they're really popular. But honestly, the ones that are like the slow, like but like like the really like slow, like drawn out songs, I think that is more what would make me want to wake up and turn it off more than something that's like Norwegian screaming people. Like I'd rather listen to that than some of the more popular songs.
You know what? I think I agree with you there, but you know what? Look at where we are now. Just two guys running a top 40 radio show, just sitting here talking about getting pranked because we're goofs. Backyard Burn, right back here on 88.1 The Berg, your music central. Now, UFC 249 was this weekend, and I know a lot of you are probably viewing it, much like I was, and enjoying our first taste of sports again here in the States. And boy, was there some good stuff. And Noah, I know that you watched a little bit of it, correct?
I did. I was kind of just watching it late at night after it had happened. I just wanted to see the different, kind of some of the different fights, the interesting ones, the ones I can watch in 20 seconds. Those ones are usually interesting for me. I'm like, oh, wow, that ended pretty quick.
Yeah, everybody likes a good quick fight. Everybody likes a good fast knockout.
Yeah, and Greg Hardy was on there. He was fighting. He did actually really well and won his fight. He is a former defensive lineman for the Carolina Panthers, is where I remember him from. And right now, he doesn't quite have the technique that he's going to need going forward, but he's able to overpower his opponent. So it's pretty cool to watch him play and show how his athletic ability is really translated over.
Yeah, that is always interesting seeing a lot of these bigger guys come from different sports trying to come in and be a UFC fighter. There's been a lot of people that have been able to do it, but it's kind of a hard transition. Alden Smith actually was the former defensive lineman for the Raiders and the 49ers. When he was out of the league, he was training to try to make his way into the UFC and break into the fighting world. And then thankfully he got picked up by the Cowboys. So happy to see him be playing again. But there's guys that come in and out of the UFC and guys that come from all different sorts of backgrounds. One guy who I am always a huge fan is Henry Cueto. I always say it wrong. I can never say his name.
Oh,
right.
Cejudo.
Henry Cejudo. Yes, I always say his name wrong because every time I read it, my dyslexic brain gets all jumbled up. But yes, I was so excited to see him win and beat Dominic Cruz. I've never really liked Dominic Cruz. I've always not liked him. Not a big Dominic Cruz fan.
Dominic Cruz is just not my favorite.
No, it's the thing is that I don't hate him, but like he's always fighting dudes that I like. Like he had a huge rivalry with Uriah Faber, the California kid who's from 2 towns over from where I grew up. Uriah Faber is a Sacktown local like myself. So I was always, I love that rivalry. And then I saw him come out of retirement, get out of the broadcast booth and get back in the ring. I respect him a lot for doing that. I think he should still be able to fight. He put on a great fight. But having old Henry retire after the fight, that was a little bit of a shocker. But I think, he did it in the most baller way possible. He's standing up there with an Olympic gold medal that he won in wrestling. He's got his 2 titles there, and he just stands there and he's just like, yeah, I'm calling it quits. And the best part is like the dude, like Dominic Cruz isn't like necessarily like ranked or has a title, but the thing is he's just like, yep, I won it. And now he's just like, I'm retiring, which means that he just has to hand the belt down to the next person. Like, it's just so funny. It just kind of defeats the purpose of like your whole life's work. You want to try to keep that thing and defend it. And he's just like, I've done it. I'm good. I want to have a family, want to do my thing. So shouts out to him. And then Justin Gaethje. I still can't pronounce his name. Yeah. He's got the weirdest name out of all of them. I know there's people probably sitting in their car going, Shane, you're an idiot. Why are you on a radio DJ if you can't read? And my answer is, I don't know. You should ask my bosses why they let me. But he defeated Tony Ferguson in an absolute bloodbath. And then after he got the belt put on him by Dana White, he threw the thing on the ground and said he wants the real one. He wants to go after Khabib.
Yeah, well, good luck with that because Khabib wrestles bears, and every time I see him bear wrestling in those videos, I just think of this guy is going to be the person I do not even want to really meet because he scares me so much. He
Yeah,
could
no,
really just take anyone down.
yeah, no, he scares me to like he scares me a lot. Like he's a like, he the thing is like I'll never forget. I forget what was the fight where he literally after he knocked the dude out, he literally jumps over the fence and starts attacking all of his corner, like attacking everybody that's like a part of his other dude's
Oh,
team. I
I can't
remember
even
that.
remember.
That was chaos, and the best part was is they had all the cameras going down there trying to break stuff up. And I'll never forget the sight of seeing Joe Rogan throw a mic down and start pulling people back. When Joe Rogan gets involved, you know that it's something real.
I just remember how much he dominated Conor McGregor when he first won his title, and he's just defended it for years now.
He's a
He's like no
psycho.
one's had a chance of beating him.
No, nobody has. He's truthfully one of the best ever. He's truthfully he's just like I don't want to be like rude, but I mean I don't know. He's just from like just such a strange place, like that part of Northern Europe where he's from.
Yeah.
They breed just absolute tough as nails people. Like just everything about his background. He's a frightening human being. He's somebody that I would never want to cross paths or make angry.
What's really interesting is he doesn't really necessarily train as much on the weights as he used to. He still does a ton of weight training, but he mostly has been training with like wrestlers from the United States. Like he goes and like wrestles like high school wrestlers that are state champions, like 4-time state champions, and like he gives them no chance, obviously. But he's and tries to get a lot of this wrestling training in because he wants to be able to win the ground game so effectively and be able to figure out, okay, what way are they going to try to go?
Yeah.
And his standing game's already good. So if you increase your ground game to something absurd with all of this different wrestling and grappling training, well, then how are you even going to beat him? And he wrestled bears, so he's probably pretty good at it to begin with. But I just think good luck with anyone going after Khabib right now.
Yeah. Good luck to anybody. And guys, the next UFC event is actually going to be in 4 days. It's going to be UFC Fight Night in San Diego. There's going to be more fighting coming your way, more sports, and we're going to bring them to you here on the Backyard Burn. 88.1 The Berg, your music central. We are in the Backyard Burn. Once again, Shane Dog Peterson, Noah Annette. We got all the news coming your way. And some news coming in the TV world, Noah. You've got some of your shows that are quickly coming to an end here.
Yeah, okay. So Survivor and The Masked Singer are rounding out. There's 6 people there's 5 people left in the game in Survivor, but 1 person comes back, so there's going to be 6 people, and they're all going to get that's all going to be wrapped up next this episode tomorrow tomorrow on Wednesday, and it'll be a 2-hour season finale of that. And then on The Masked Singer, there's going to be another 2-hour episode, but the first hour is all you really need to watch because it's the show. The second hour is the After the Mask. And so the first hour of it, they're down to the final 5 now. And so they're going to have 1 more person unmasked. And then the episode after that's the finale. And there's going to be 3 people unmasked in the finale. So there's a lot of good stuff going on there. But I've been watching some new shows I've been watching the new season of Rick and Morty. It's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, that's one that I need to catch up on.
Yeah, it doesn't really go with the regular story. It's kind of just a bunch of one-off episodes right now. They might connect later on, but I think that the 4th season was more just to be like fan service and just give them a bunch of like really interesting episodes and a lot of episodes that kind of just make you think about things.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also have been watching the other Justin Roiland show called Solar Opposites. It just came out. It's on Hulu. The first season came out, has I think 8 episodes, and it's basically like, you know, a lot of the characters in that sound like Rick and Morty characters, and it has the same animation style. But what's cool about it, it's like these aliens are trying to integrate themselves into society. It's like a lot of shows like that,
Mm-hmm.
but they clearly are not doing a good job in most of the episodes.
That would
And
make
so
sense.
I think they're both, you know, everything I've been watching recently is pretty interesting. If you're into things that are going to like expand like your thinking, and also are open to like a lot of wild and crazy ideas, I think that those are the shows for you. I think that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, I mean, you're the TV expert guy here, so those are definitely all shows that I definitely would be interested in watching. So with the one last quick question with the Masked Singer, are they doing kind of a weird change up for the finales, kind of doing it from home where everybody's going to be unmasking themselves from their living rooms?
It's all recorded still. They're
Yeah.
still going. Last week was the kitty was unmasked, and now the final four right now is the turtle, the rhino, the night angel, and the frog.
Interesting.
And it seems like the rhino's going to be the one going. I mean, I don't have any spoilers or know anything about that, but if I were betting on it, probably go with the rhino.
If I were a betting man. Well, those are some good shows, but I actually got some pretty exciting news. A show that I've been starting to get into that I love. I think you love it too, Noah. It's on Hulu. It's called Dave. Now, Dave is a show about the life of the white rapper Little Dicky. And boy, is it funny. And it has actually been now called FX's most viewed comedy series to date with an average audience of 5.32 million per episode, and it's growing.
Yeah, I'll check that one out tonight because I've not seen any episodes of it, but I've seen the previews for it.
Some of the supporting cast, I'm really big fans of. I'm almost more of a fan of the supporting cast, like some of the characters, than I am of David himself. One of the characters in his show is played by the great Red Rocket, Andrew Santino, one of my favorite stand-up comedians. He's a bad dude. Not like bad in a bad way, but bad in a good way. Great show. I just had to drop that out there, making some new things. They just got re-signed for a second season. So if you guys need something funny to watch, you're a fan of Little Dicky, or you need to go get caught up on some of these shows me and Noah have been talking about, better get to it because we've been doing a whole lot of watching over here. And y'all are obviously just doing a whole lot of listening. 88.1 The Berg, your Music Central. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a great story. It's a heartwarming story for me. So, many of you who know me personally know that I am a stoolie. I am a Barstool fan. Noah, you know it probably better than anybody because I'm always referencing their blogs and articles.
Yeah, I watch different stuff than you do from them, but I enjoy them as well.
Yeah. Barstool is a absolutely wonderful resource for not only information, stories, but also just a lot of funny humor. And the president and founder of Barstool, his name's Dave Portnoy. He's one of the highest critics of the NFL in the whole entire world, and he absolutely despises the commissioner, Roger Goodell. Now, every time we've talked about football or the NFL draft, we always got to talk about Roger Goodell because he's always got his fingers in everything when it comes to, the world of professional football. And some people don't like him. I kind of question his authority. But Dave goes to the point where he has a merch company that makes like T-shirts with Roger Goodell wearing a clown nose on and makes millions of dollars selling T-shirts making fun of him. He has his own merch line that says Fire Goodell on it. He hates Roger Goodell. But during this time of need, there's been a lot of charity events, a lot of stuff going on to kind of help this COVID-19 relief effort. And, the NFL offered up a charity event where you could pay to come into the commissioner's house, his own personal home, and go to his basement man cave and watch Monday Night Football together with him in his house. Now, Dave Portnoy being the biggest, anti-Goodell person on the whole entire planet and having a lot of money, he goes, I'm going to bet. So Dave Portnoy won He paid $250,000 to go sit and watch one Monday Night Football game in the commissioner's house in the man cave. Now, that's some brilliance right there. And also, what a lot of people don't know is Roger Goodell's kicked Dave Portnoy out of the past 3 Super Bowls. He's not allowed to go to any NFL sanctioned events. He gets kicked out immediately by security. So it's going to be an absolutely great event. What do you think that it's even going to go through?
See, I think it will. I think he has an obligation to do so because it was a charity event, and I think that's the only reason that it did go through.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really shocked that nobody outbidded him on this because I could think of other rich people that would want to go and hang out with the commissioner for a while. Maybe they've never met him before. But when it comes down to it, Dave Portnoy, he's not going to get the opportunity to meet with the commissioner in any other circumstance, if like in general. So it was kind of his time to, sit down with them, really talk to him, and maybe they both get some some perspective on each other, on the struggles that Roger Goodell has in his job, and Dave Portnoy may be able to voice some of his concerns directly to Roger Goodell. So I think it's actually going to be a good experience. I think there's going to be some funny stuff made of it as well. But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, I think that either A, it's going to end up terrible, and it's just going to, I guess that for lack of a better term, end up in flames, like everyone's mad at each other. Or B, they better each other out of it. So, I mean, it could go one of those 2 ways, in my opinion. But who knows? Maybe they'll both be adults about it and have a good time.
I think that there might be the C option, that they walk out of that experience being best friends.
It is an option.
Yeah, I believe it's an option. I mean, if I had the opportunity and the money to do something like that, to be that little, be that kind of that annoying, crickety door in somebody's ear, letting them into their own house, I probably would. 88.1 The Berg, your music central. It's your boy Shane Dog here, and we are coming to the end of the backyard burn because the fire's getting low, and we're calling in the dogs. And I'm here with my dog, Mr. Noah. Noah, good talking to you again today, man. We got a whole week of new stuff coming.
Yeah, honestly, I held back today a little bit because there were some stories that we could just talk about today, but there's probably about 5-6 other things that I just am like excited to talk about throughout the week. But I'm like, oh, I did that this day. I've kind of had some eventful days recently, but when it comes down to it, sometimes I just like to talk about my eventfulness during my non-eventful days.
That is true, because I mean, you were doing the longest quarantine grind out of anybody I knew, and you were doing it quite well.
Yeah, I can't do it anymore. It's like I have to go to the grocery store. Like, see, my dad was home at that point. He could help my mom out with the groceries and stuff. But like now he's not home, so like I gotta like help her out with that stuff. Like there's certain things that I didn't have to do before, but I was doing other stuff around the house. But now it's like I'm doing it like everything with my mom. So it's kind of like, oh, okay, well now like I can't just sit at home every single day.
Stepping up, being the man of the house. Look at you, Noah. Oh, well, boy.
Let's not put it that far, but
I feel it though, man. Well, I'm excited that you got a lot to talk about. I know I have a lot to talk about, and we want to know if you have something that we should talk about, because remember, you could always reach us at all of our social medias, at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at 881 The Berg. You could also find us on YouTube. And don't forget, folks, we're in the App Store. Get that thing. It's awesome. It's very well done. I'm always using it. It's a very good tool, because if you're a fellow Bergie, you got to have it. So, guys, thank you again. We're going to keep coming at you this whole entire week.